Dear family and friends, I come to you today not just as a man, but as a father who is suffering deeply. I am Raphael Oluwaseun Samson. I am a Nigerian living in Finland. I'm reaching out to you, good people of Finland and the world at large, more especially to the people that cherish justice, integrity, and family. I must be clear that I have huge respect for the wonderful people of Finland and all the support I have received here. However, I must share a story I have been fighting for the past 5 years. 5 years ago, my newly born child was taken from birth without my knowledge and consent. My love, my rights, and my opportunity to be a father to my child has been stripped away by a system I deeply, deeply trusted. My child was born alive on the 13th of January in the year 2020 at HUS Hospital in Helsinki. But rather than allowing me, the biological father who had established parenthood before my child's birth, to be part of my child's life, authorities in Finland has acted in a manner that I would have never imagined in my life. They allowed my newly born to be taken away without my permission or even my consent. I was not given a chance to hold, protect, or care for my child. My child, who I loved even before their birth. I was present at the antenatal care and fetal screening visit alongside my former partner as we prepared to welcome our baby. On the 20th of December 2019, we heard the heartbeat of our child together at Kivisto Antenatal Clinic in Vantaa. Yet, despite fulfilling my responsibilities and acknowledging my paternity as required by Section 16 of the Finnish Parenthood Act and Section 19 of the Finnish Parenthood Act currently in force, the legal document drawn up to fulfill my paternity cannot be found from any official systems. This deletion effectively erased me from my child's life. To rectify the missing paternity document, my lawyer asked me to request my co-parenting document from the antenatal clinic. I did so. However, the clinic outrightly denied my presence at the co-parenting visit. This can be disproved by the written testimony of my child's mother, stating she testifies that I was with her at Kivisto Antenatal Clinic on the 20th of December 2019. She further stated that we were in a relationship at the time and I am the father of the fetus and baby. Instead of my name to be written as my child's father in the antenatal document later received, the nurses at Kivisto Antenatal Clinic wrote that I am Nigerian and that I live in Turku. They also wrote that there was a happy family waiting in our pregnancy antenatal care data. I have fought for 5 years relentlessly, contacting different authorities, child welfare services, and legal professionals. I have faced silence, I have faced resistance, denials, dismissal, racism, discrimination, and injustice at every turn. According to the Finnish law on paternity and parenthood, it is the Child Welfare Service's responsibility to investigate the paternity or parenthood of a child. Hence, I contacted the Child Welfare Service of Helsinki in January 2021 after I discovered that my child was born, and I was told by the child welfare officer, Sanna Mäki-Hakola, that it will be a 50-50 chance that I get to recognize my paternity with my child. Why she called me with private numbers all through our conversations then Later on, she cancelled my paternity appointment without giving me any reasons or any means of contacting her again. Based on legal advice, my lawyer asked me to make series of crime reports to the Finnish police about the matter. I made about 5 different crime reports to the Finnish police, and each of them took several months before I got a police decision. All resulted in the police saying that there was no crime involved. The police would not investigate my missing child's matter. The second crime report I made resulted in a police decision which stated that my child survived the abortion and I, the father, was not informed. It continued that according to my reports, I am not given information about my child's location. The police inspector further stated that according to the population information system, I have no children or other dependents on record. The Finnish police inspector stated that as a rule, information about my child's location is not given to anyone other than my child's official parent or guardian. And if I want to have information about my child's location, I can apply for the confirmation of paternity in accordance with the provisions of the Finnish Paternity Act in force at the time when I made the crime report. The Finnish police further stated that according to Section 11 of the Adoption Act, adoption requires parental consent. According to Section 12 of the same law, if parentage cannot be confirmed, it can only be confirmed only for exceptional reasons. If there is a reason to assume that parentage might be later established if the case to establish parentage is pending in court or in any other authority. However, it does not appear in the reports the police has received that the case regarding confirmation of paternity or parenthood would be pending, or that the persons who confirmed the suspected adoption would have had reasons to assume that parentage might be later confirmed. Nothing else but Samson's suspicion has been received as clarification for Samson's child who would have been adopted. The police concluded that there was no crime involved and the police would not carry out any preliminary investigation. Therefore, the case will not proceed to prosecution and court trials by the police duties. Following the police report and legal advice from my lawyer, I contacted another child welfare officer in Turku, Eira Kuisma. With the help of my lawyer at the time, provided that my child was born in Helsinki, Eira Kuisma asked the Helsinki Child Welfare Services for information about my child's birth and adoption. Katri Hyytiä, the child welfare officer of Helsinki region, responded to Eira Kuisma that my child was born and gave an erroneous excuse that for data protection reasons, she could not provide the information that I requested. However, she announced that the parentage of a child who has been adopted cannot be confirmed. Due to the mandate of Section 16 of the previous Paternity Act of Finland and Section 19 of the new Paternity Act of Finland, that paternity can be established before the birth of the child. The child protection officer, Katri Hyytiä, gave a second statement that they at the Vantaa city or welfare area of Vantaa and Keravan did not receive any paternity acknowledgement given before or after my child's birth, in which I would have acknowledged the paternity of my child. They said this in a bid to justify not carrying out the needed investigation for establishing the parenthood of my child with me. Furthermore, the Digital and Population Service agencies gave a statement that the child welfare officers have dealt with the matter concerning my child's adoption, which is the reason why my paternity has not been established. According to Chapter 7, Section 51 to 57 and Section 61 of the Finnish Adoption Act, which mandates that adoption can be granted only by judicial decision by the district court in Finland. The petition must include all necessary documents and documentations that confirms the statutory condition for a lawful adoption to have been met. It further mandates that the Finnish district courts are responsible for ensuring all necessary evidences are collected to make a decision. It mandates parents of a child, the child's guardian or custodian, must be given an opportunity to be heard. Aside from me not being heard at all or giving legal consent as my child's father, the official proceedings for granting adoption in Finland have been bypassed by the people who has given my child up for adoption without my consent, knowledge, and permission. Following the Finnish adoption law mandate, we have asked the responsible courts in Finland for adoption decision from the adoption register of both the District Court of Helsinki or Itä-Uusimaa. However, it appeared that no adoption decision has been granted by any court in Finland, and that signifies an unlawful adoption that is tantamount to kidnapping. If the adoption process has gone through the lawful adoption process in Finland through the judicial proceedings, my child's name would have been found in the adoption register of the District Court of Helsinki and Itä-Uusimaa. On the grounds of my ex-spouse's power of attorney, I made official request for my child's birth documents since July 2024. But the child welfare officers, Katri Hyytiä and Milla Syrjänen, informed me and my lawyer in August, after several months of waiting, that they have asked their lawyers to take a position on the matter and they would be in contact with us. However, we have not heard anything from them since then. I've reported the inactions of the child welfare officers to the Finnish police as a crime report.
And lastenvalvoja said, you went to your lawyer who said that go to lastenvalvojat, and lastenvalvojat said that go to talk with your lawyer.
Yeah, my lawyer should order the birth certificate, that it is not their responsibility. And my lawyer is telling me that it is Lastenvalvoja's responsibility to do that. Because it is stated in the paternity law that the Lastenvalvoja should do everything they can to help to get the truth of the paternity of the child. And the truth involves ordering the information about the birth of my child. And thereafter, DNA test and every other necessary forensic test. And I know that it is Lastenvalvoja's responsibility, because he's on the paternity law, that Lastenvalvoja must do everything they can to get the truth. And I am the truth. I am the father of my child. We will let the forensic test prove that. Yeah, I know what you're reading there now. If you got everything that I wanted to report. The summary of what you've said.
That lastenvalvoja hasn't done their job to find out, are you the father of the child? Because of that, because as you saw me, that this has finished because there is no crime, and the previous case, what was under investigation in Helsinki, I saw that it's also finished the investigation because there is no crime. And paternity law things, it's not police thing at all. You cannot see those because you are not officially the child father.
Because somebody took my name out. And the police has informed me during my crime report and issued a police decision that no crime was involved in the actions and inactions of the child welfare officers. The police has further explained to me that I am not being allowed to receive any information about my child's location, identity, well-being because I am not my child's official father in the system. All the evidences I've received indicates an adoption fraud, which is tantamount to kidnapping, child abduction, child trafficking, which has been directed against my child and has violated my child's rights and my parental rights. I've contacted and visited the Nigerian embassy in Sweden twice. The first time in May 2023 and a follow-up visit in July 2023 to ask for help in resolving this matter. However, the Nigerian embassy informed me that they at the embassy has contacted the Finnish authorities on my behalf, and the authorities in Finland has sent the documents with my signatures authorizing and approving everything that has been done to my child. And now I'm coming back to cause troubles after I have given authorization. Therefore, the Nigerian embassy is not able to intervene in this matter. I'm yet to see or receive any document where I've authorized my child to be given up for adoption without my consent, knowledge, and permission. I will never give up my child up for adoption. I've contacted the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission in April 2024 to ask for intervention, but I have not gotten any response from them. All courts have dismissed my paternity appeal because they state that I don't know my child's name, address, social security number. Please recall that I stated that my child was taken from birth, and it is impossible to know the name they have given to my child or where they were abducted to. All in all, I would like to state that the hope of remedying this situation is via an adoption fraud investigation lawsuit. I have contacted and visited the ULE investigative journalist to ask for help. However, I have not gotten any response even after I have followed up upon his promise to get back to me to start an investigative journalism about this matter. I've made a fraudulent and unlawful adoption crime report to the Finnish police. The police have informed me that I am not my child's official father. And if I want the police to investigate the case, I should bring official certificates that prove that I am my child's father. Please recall that I've just explained that child welfare officers have refused to give my child's birth certificate after they have issued statements erroneously giving up my child up for adoption. I've made lawsuits and invited the child welfare officer Katri Hyytiä to court to give more explanation, to shed more light to the matter of adoption, and give official documents and records of my child and my child's adoption papers. Nevertheless, my lawyer informed me that the judge has informed him that they will not handle my lawsuit for a very long time because the court is busy. Again, I want to be clear that this is not a condemnation of the Finnish people. I've met kind, great, supportive, and honest Finns who value family, fairness, and justice. I will forever be grateful to them and their support to me. I also want to be clear that this is not the condemnation of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, because I think there must be a very good reason for their silence. However, I cannot remain silent anymore about the institutions and individuals who have disregarded my child's fundamental human rights, as well as my rights as father, and have acted in a way that I believe constitutes paternity fraud, adoption fraud, kidnapping, and human trafficking. Moreover, they have refused to resolve this matter in a civil manner for the past 5 years. I'm calling on to everyone with a good heart to stand with me and help me demand justice. I need your support, I need your voices, and your solidarity. I plead with the good people of Finland and the world at large to please help me appeal to the Finnish justice system, to please handle and expedite court proceedings concerning the investigation of adoption fraud or unlawful adoption of my child, and help me determine the location of my child, their identity, and their well-being, and reunite me with my child, my family, to remedy this situation in this year, 2025. I need to know where my child is, and I need the chance to be in my child's life. I need the Child Protection Service to please help me hand over to me the decisions of the adoption and the papers of my child that has been given up for adoption without me or my ex-spouse's permission. This is my human right, my moral duty, and my deepest desires. To the Finnish authorities, to international human rights organizations, and anyone with power and influence to make a difference, I humbly ask for your intervention in this matter. Please help me. Please help me end this nightmare. And please reunite me with my child. No parent should endure the agony of not knowing their child's faith simply because of bureaucratic and systemic failures. I've documented everything. I have the antenatal records. I have legal correspondences. I have official decisions, aside from the adoption decision, that shows the truth about my story. I'm prepared to share evidences with everyone in authority or body or network willing to help me investigate and demand justice in this matter, in this injustice I've experienced. To the people of Finland, Nigeria, and people around the world that value justice and family, I thank you very much from the depth of my heart for taking the time to listen to me and standing with me in this fight. With your help, I hope to finally reunite with my child and bring my child back home. Please help me share this post and repost this post in good faith until it reaches the right people that can help me resolve this injustice. Thank you very much, and may we stand together for truth and justice. Yours sincerely, Raphael Oluwaseun Samson.